Let's bring in my colleague Kieran Gilbert now. He joins me live from Canberra. Kieran, you were, of course, in India travelling with Anthony Albanese when he made his own trip to India. How does this visit by Modi compare? What do you make of those announcements we just saw there?
Well, the scene was almost identical, Ash, with the exchange of memorandums, very formal process, two statements, no questions. You'll notice it's not like an opportunity, say, with the US president, where you would get two questions on either side. Narendra Modi, while he says he shares Australian values and India is a democracy and shares our values, he doesn't hold news conferences. He doesn't appreciate questions from journalists. I asked him a question at the Narendra Modi Cricket Stadium in Gujarat, and it was a very gentle question, just talking about cricket and so on. He answered it, but there was a bit of surprise, I think, that there was a question coming at him from a journalist at a picture opportunity. It's just not the way it's done. It caused a bit of blowback, apparently, as well, among official ranks, and we were told, in no uncertain terms, don't do that again. So that's one element of what we saw there. The other, though, is a very strong friendship between Prime Minister Modi and Prime Minister Albanese. They've met 6 times in the first year. They've built a rapport very quickly. I'm told by members of the government that Prime Minister Modi really appreciated the fact that the PM, straight after being elected, went to the Quad, showed that respect, and that rapport was built up pretty much immediately. Then you see those images there of Prime Minister in Gujarat getting the colours thrown on him. Modi again appreciated that show of respect to the Indian culture and the reception that he was afforded. So, yeah, we talk about rapport a bit between world leaders. I don't think you can overstate the importance of it, because it helps break down barriers, say, in free trade negotiations and other elements where need be, Ash.
Yeah, the Labor Mobility Pact signed today, that looks like it will increase the flow of people-to-people links between our two countries. But it is this trade pact really now that will be looking forward to being signed towards the end of the year.
That's the full trade pact. There's been sort of a preliminary deal done. Still the hard areas in agriculture and so on that need to be crossed. India is traditionally one of the most protected economies in the world, the highest tariffs for a long, long time, basically from independence. It was very much a protected economy. So there are those barriers that need to be overcome. Agriculture, like in many countries, still a sensitive political area for Narendra Modi. He uses that for domestic political gain, to say he's protecting Indian farmers. The irony of it, though, of course, when you have free trade, it does ultimately give the prospect for cheaper prices for Indian consumers. But, as I say, a shared ambition and confidence there from the Prime Minister. He said they share the ambition for an early conclusion to the full free trade pact between the two countries. They really are. It's a long way, isn't it, Ashley, from those days that I think you and I covered back in 2009, 2010, when Indian students were the subject of some crimes. It caused a big outcry in India. It was a low point in bilateral relations between the two countries. It's come a long way since then.
Certainly has. We've got these live pictures coming in. The Prime Minister Anthony Albanese there with his Indian counterpart Narendra Modi, showing off the view of Sydney Harbour. You can't beat that view, can you, Kieran, from Admiralty House, looking over at the Opera House and the CBD and the bridge. It's an impressive sight every time a world leader comes. No doubt they would, you couldn't help but be impressed by that. And Sydney really turning on the weather for Narendra Modi today. Kieran Gilbert, appreciate your analysis. Thanks, you. We'll be bringing you more reaction to that big visit happening in Sydney today.